Hey VC, thank you for dropping in. Tony here. We have a little bit of a dive into one of my favorite albums of all time, Black Sabbath, self-titled, released on Warner here in the U.S. and on Vertigo there in the great UK. And the reason I'm doing this, as you know, I put out a video about 4 or 5 days ago that Rhino has just announced 4 or 5 days ago that they are going to have this Black Sabbath released on their High Fidelity series, which is a audiophile, great series, very inexpensively priced, in my opinion. They do a great job. The two Cars records, the Great Dead record, Television sold out, First Car sold out, Captain and Me, various classic jazz records. But we're really excited about this one. Black Sabbath, self-titled. Right there, just holding that up. This is their first studio album, their debut album. Believe it or not, this record was recorded in one session in 8 hours. They said they mixed it, they did some overdubs, and Ozzy said he had time to go to a pub before it was last call. So just an incredible debut album. And to record it in only 8 hours, just amazing. You know, this album could have started the heavy metal revolution. Of course, you had Zeppelin before that, but this is heavy metal. A lot of the blues that Zeppelin was associated with. Although this is a very blues album, I love this album. This could be a greatest hits. I'm just going to go over some points on this album that you may be interested in. And before I forget, go check out Rhino's website because this is going to sell out immediately. This is a 5,000 limited numbered edition cut by Kevin Gray, all analog. Steve Westman had put it out 4 or 5 days ago. Again, the announcement with people from Rhino that it's cut by Kevin Gray, all analog, using the master tapes from America, not the Vertigo tape. So, go out and get this. This is fantastic. Here's the cover, which is so creepy at the time. It was very revolutionary at the time, if you could see that model. This was at a mill on the Thames River in London, outside of London on the Thames. So that's cool. The model is Louisa Livingston. She was 18 at the time. And the artist who took the photo was Keith McMillan. So he did a great job. He said it was freezing that night or that morning, but they got it down, and here it is. Some interesting notes on this is this was released on Vertigo in February 13th, 1970 in the UK on Vertigo. It was released here in the US on Warner Brothers 6/1/70. So quite a bit of time lapsed before it was released here. Originally, the band recorded for Fontana Records, but Fontana Records somehow thought that this would be better released on Vertigo. Vertigo maybe had a bigger reputation. I know I have a couple of Trogs records on Fontana, some other records on Fontana, which sound really good. But they thought that they would do their client better if it was released on Vertigo. I don't know the details of that, but really cool. This is listed as one of the 1001 albums you must hear before you die, and it's also listed on the 500 greatest records of all time by Rolling Stone. So it's just amazing. The sessions, like I said, 8 hour, one session. Everything was recorded live. Ozzy was in a little booth. Everything was recorded live. Just a few overdubs. Just amazing. And right there. In the U.S., this topped the Billboard charts at 23, stayed on the charts for about a year, went platinum in the U.S., 1 million. Canada and U.K. both went gold. Rolling Stone, like I indicated earlier, had it listed at number 21 of the records of greatest albums of all time. Number 44, best debut album of all time out of 100. unbelievable. And this is a palm tree Warner. Originally came out with the Warner, the green Warner label, which I do not have. Here's the original inner, and I just marked it when I cleaned it. Last time I cleaned this record, I only clean my records when I'm going to listen to them, and I mark. And so if I'm pulling that record out again a year later or two, really not necessary to have to clean it, maybe do an anti-static run on it. But I cleaned this in 2/11/15, and I marked it, and I have some notes near mint. This record's near mint. Here is the palm label. You can see that there. I hope you can see that with the glare. But I just want to read some notes I picked up on this as far as the label. The original Warner pressing lists incorrect running time, and this has the incorrect running times on it. On the back of the jacket, the running times are not on the label of the record. So Warner Brothers, this press, and I guess the previous press of Green, had incorrect running times for Wicked World and the Warning Medley at 4 minutes 30 seconds and 14 minutes 32 seconds respectively. And also they indicated that on these pressings, the label had the band's given names, not the nicknames, as Weezer, and so it had their names, and that is on the record label. The times are on the back jacket, but the record label, one of the sides, even on the both, because I researched the green and the palm tree, they're both identical as far as the way the listings are. I believe all members get credit for writing. Cheers. Hope everybody's doing well, and hope everybody's psyched up for this. So, once again, Steve Westman, thank you, because he was instrumental in getting Rhino to do some of these Black Sabbaths that Rhino has. Now, Rhino came out with a repress of this, I believe, in 2010, which was all analog, AAA. Don't know it, haven't heard it. It's probably going for about $70, $80 right now online. Obviously, they're out of print. So if you could pick up this on Rhino High Fidelity, which is going to another level for $40 or $50 shipped, really, I'm urging you to do that. The engineer, just to give the engineer some credit, because this record sounds great. I just listened to this record yesterday. I listened to a vinyl transfer I have outside on Bluetooth just to get the feel for it, because I'm really waiting to get my Rhinos, which I ordered first day after Steve's roundtable audiophile session. Like I said, 4 or 5 days ago, I ordered, and I can't wait to get that record to do an A/B for you guys. But I'm sure, as like I mentioned with the other pressings, it's going to sound great, and this sounds great. So hats off to the engineers, Tom Allen and Barry Sheffield. Now, Barry Sheffield opened up in 1967, opened up Trident Studios with his brother Norman. Norman played for some various rock bands in the London town area. And Trident Studios, just famous in their own right. And Barry was actually engineer for certain songs on the White Album. Just go look at some of my notes here. He engineered James Taylor's Apple first debut album, did some songs on that. It's weird. He didn't do all the songs, but he recorded certain songs. At Trident was also engineered Queen, just to give you a few of the highlights. Queen, Bee Gees, Zappa, Elton John, the Rolling Stones, who I'm going to go see in a few days, which I'll talk about in another video, T-Rex, Bowie, many, many more. So Trident Studios, which is a famous studio over there in Soho, and there's my notes here, Soho in London. So there you have it. Once again, I'm urging you, if you haven't ordered it already, go to the website. They simultaneously announced at that audiophile table with Steve Devo's album. I believe We Are Devo, with a few hits on it, Whip It. I'm not crazy about that. I already have a copy somewhere of Devo on CD and album. I'll probably end up getting it, but this is something that I wanted to get a green Warner. They're kind of expensive. This sounds just as good. I'm sure they used the same tape for Warner at that time. And here we have the young model, Louise, at age 18. They said she was freezing her butt off, kind of eerie, and it gave it that satanic, whole vibe. They didn't go into it for that reason. That was the vibe that the vibe, or kind of a reputation that Black Sabbath later got. But just a unbelievable record. I would love to hear the Vertigo someday, but I don't think I ever will. Not a copy that I'm going to own, because I'm not going to spend $400 or $500 on a Vertigo Black Sabbath first edition from the UK. But I'm thinking, as far as this record goes on Rhino, it's going to sound great. Oh, another quick footnote before I forget. The running time on the UK Vertigo and the running time on the US are a little different. The running time on the UK is 38 minutes, 8 seconds, and the running time on the US are 39:28. And this was these came out in 1970. I didn't compare what the difference is. Too deep of a dive. This is a dive, but that's a little bit too deep. I'm sure, it's explained online. If you go online on Wikipedia, there's so much information on this record. They go into how it was recorded, who did what was the inspiration. Some of these tunes, some of these riffs were inspired by classical tunes that the band knew, and the guitars. The guitars are chords. The guitar chords are from classical chords and things. I'm not a musician. It's hard for me to digest all that, but you can go online and read about it firsthand. So once again, debut album, self-titled, went platinum in the US. The Rhino, 5,000 copies. It's going to be a quick sellout. I predicted the Cars self-titled was going to sell out right away, and that sold out right away. This, I think, will even sell out quicker. And so there you have it. And, hopefully you'll like this video. Please leave comments. If you haven't subscribed, please try to subscribe. It really helps us out. And I want to thank all the people who have subscribed, all our viewers, and all the people who check in the comments and stuff like that. Really dig everybody, and keep rocking. And this is it. Right there. Check it out. A lot of good stuff online about this record. A lot of good stuff. Just think, 8 hours. A greatest hits record in 8 hours. The Beatles did it. I'm sure there's a bunch of early 60 bands did it, but for this heavy, heavy stuff, just lightning in a bottle. Lightning in a bottle. So thanks a lot. Keep rocking. Tony signing off. Have a great day. Stay safe. And hope you get a copy of this on Rhino. Thank you. Take care.